Welcome to the first episode of the Awake Asia podcast. This podcast is about crossing cultures and borders to share stories about everyday people doing extraordinary things. Each episode, we bring to you thought leaders from the region and the rest of the world to share knowledge, inspiration, and stories of triumph to help you live a fitter, healthier, more purpose-driven, conscious lifestyle. My name is Luke. I'm an author, vegucator, and along with my better half, Emilie, we are the creators of awakemethod.com. Over the weekend, Emilie and I sat down and had a chat about why we started this podcast and what to expect from the episodes ahead. This is a short one, as we managed to squeeze some time away from Sienna, our little girl, as she took her afternoon nap. Kicking off episode 1. Hi there, this is Luke.
And this is Emilie.
And this is pretty exciting. This is our very, very first podcast. Some of you may have known me through the summit, know me through social media and Facebook. I've been vegan for 7 years now, and it's really changed my life in many ways. And for me, this is something that I've been always wanting to do. It's been always at the back of my mind to start a podcast. And for me personally, I have been a big consumer of podcasts over the years, and one of my biggest inspirations is Rich Roll, how he blends plant-based health, fitness, conscious living, entrepreneurship,
athleticism, anything inspirational. I think it's gone so much from, as I've been pretty much a listener almost from the beginning. And it started off as a lot of plant-based, a lot of triathlon, because he was doing triathlons back then. And then it's just gone so much deeper than that. You've got actors, anyone who does something really well, anyone who's overcome big obstacles in their life and actually triumphed.
One of the pivotal moments, the highlights of my life, was sitting on stage with him at the Switch for Good Summit. Just sitting there, being on the athlete panel with Rich Roll and Leilani Manta. I was just absolutely starstruck. And fast forward to where we are today, based in Singapore. Emilie is preparing for a race. I'm not sure when this
will air, but I'm preparing for Ultra Trail Australia because I'm Emilie Tan, born Nadeau Benoit, so I'm French Canadian, living in Singapore with my husband Luke. I'm a trail runner. I'm an ultra runner. I just like to run long, and I'm preparing for my next race, which is in less than a week. It's Ultra Trail Australia. So it's 100K in the Blue Mountains. It's such a beautiful scenery. I'm extremely excited. I don't think I'm nervous at the moment. I'm just really excited to get out there and just see the scenery and just give my best effort. That's my passion, as well as raising our little girl, Sienna. We've got a 2-year-old, and that's my other passion in life. And I'm very passionate about podcasts as well. That's why I'm quite excited that we're doing this, because I'm a massive consumer of podcasts. Obviously the Ritual podcast was probably the first I really got into, but since then I just listen to anything has to do with endurance sports, plant-based living. And my new passion is, sadly, it's true crime.
True crime.
I just consume a ridiculous amount of true crime. Sometimes I wake up at 4:30 a.m. to go running, and then I put this murder investigation. I don't understand that. And it's just I'm running outside, and Singapore is super, super safe, but I'm running outside and I'm thinking I just love true crime. I've always loved it, but now that I've discovered this genre on podcasts, it's just very addictive. I think I listened to 5 or 6 that are just pure true crime. He doesn't understand, but I think I heard that most of the consumer of true crime podcasts are females. So I think I don't know how to explain it, but there's something about true crime and women that go well together. And talking about women, today is
Mother's Day.
Yay.
So happy Mother's Day. Happy second. Is this your third? Third Mother's Day. So third Mother's Day.
And we're celebrating. I'm actually drinking a ultimate Mother's Day drink. I'm actually drinking a mimosa. and you're drinking a beer.
I'm having a craft beer. So for me, I do appreciate a craft beer every once a week. I don't drink every day, but when I do, I get a really, really good quality craft beer and just savor it. So I do have my glass here. And meanwhile, right next door, Sienna is having her snooze. So we decided to just squeeze in the time to record this podcast because as parents, it's a bit hard to find free time to do things.
Since becoming a parent, you just learn to utilize your free time better, but as well you really enjoy your playtime. So meaning time with no purpose really other than just sit down and watch Netflix.
Yeah, exactly, Netflix. So back to what you were saying about true crime, I'm just really grateful that you shared this app with me. And for listeners out there, I highly recommend for you to download this app. It's called Life 360. Is that what it's called?
Oh, yes.
Life 360 is an app that Emilie shares with me, and I'll put that in the show notes. And it basically tracks where your family members are with a GPS system. So you can actually open up the app and you can see the bobblehead of your family member just running. So that's what Emilie and I do when Emilie goes on her long runs, or even in Thailand when it's in unfamiliar territory. So I know that she's moving. I know that she's safe, especially if you've got kids as well. I think it's worth downloading because at the end of the day, it tracks where you've traveled. It maps a path. So back to this whole podcast. I mean, for me, the summit has really opened my eyes to this whole lifestyle. And to date, I've probably spoken to 70 plus 80 people around the world, and I'm just so grateful and honored that I had the opportunity to chat with these people. And for me, this whole podcast was just bringing what I've learned and all these amazing people that I've got to know to introduce them through this channel of ours. At the same time, moving to Singapore, I also realized there's a lot of great people doing wonderful things here, from the local community groups like Animal Allies to Green is the New Black to David Young, who runs Green Monday, and a few of these people that I will be showcasing in the next few episodes. But I think it's just about bringing the East and West, crossing borders, crossing cultures.
Because we're both vegan, and I think it's been the start of everything. Plant-based diet is the start of it, but we will not be only hosting plant-based athletes or vegans, because there's so much more to this. This, sustainability, healthy living.
We chatted with one of Sienna's
friend's dad, who's
Sienna's
an explorer.
I was chatting with him. We went to the little girl's second birthday, and I asked him what he was doing, and he said he was an explorer. I was like, wow, what does that mean? Then he basically shared that he just spends months on end in places like Antarctica, just watching whales. I just found that so fascinating that someone lives their lives like that. So really, not just athletes, not just doctors, but also just everyday people doing extraordinary things.
We've already had a few really good guests lined up, so that's super exciting. And of all kinds, of all walks of life, which you named a few there.
I really hope that you get some inspiration from this podcast or the messages or even the stories shared.
We really hope that it can give you this inspiration, because I know what the Ritual podcast did for me. Back then, I was already a vegan, but I was not running. I was still very active, but it's listening to Rich, who's done like absolutely amazing endurance feats. It's listening to Josh Lajoni, who's completely turned around his life with eating plants and running. I just got really inspired of training for my first marathon, and this was it. This was what really made me discover my biggest passion in life. So I'm very thankful for that, and I would love if it's only one person, but we can inspire somebody to find their true passion and follow it.
Indeed, it's about finding your true passion and following it. And I guess also moving forwards as well. If you have any questions, we're going to be doing Q&As where you can kind of write in questions that you'd like for us to answer. And
definitely, it'd be nice to do an Ask Me Anything or that kind of stuff.
So for now, I guess that's us signing off for this very, very first episode. And well, once again, happy Mother's Day and all the best for the upcoming race ahead, which is this coming Saturday. And I think my goal is to actually release this podcast prior to Saturday. So see you next time, and do tune in, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to listen to our conversation. If you'd like more information on what was shared on this episode, visit awakemethod.com/podcast. And if you would like to connect with us, look for us on Instagram or Facebook at Awake Method. Thanks once again, and I look forward to catching you on the next episode.